Welcome to the University of Idaho Extension's Pesticide Safety Education Program. In this course, you will develop basic math skills for calculating accurate pesticide applications. You will also perform calculations using real equipment calibration examples. While watching, please remember that you can pause the video for additional time to read and review the written content on the screen. You may also rewind the video at your convenience to rewatch anything you have already seen. Please read the disclaimer before continuing the course. Just imagine, you're planning a party for 50 people. You estimate that each person will drink 5 sodas at the party. You have an old VW Bug that can only haul 3 cases of soda at a time. Let's ask 2 questions. 1. How many cases of soda will you need to buy for your party? 2. How many trips to the grocery store do you need to make before the party? We have 50 people at 5 sodas each. That's 250 sodas. Now the VW only holds 3 cases at a time, and there are 24 sodas in a case. Although soda is not a pesticide, this scenario is similar to the math used when calculating pesticides. Using the math in this problem, you can calculate the amount of pesticide you will need for an application. Hint: VW Bug equals your sprayer tank, and soda equals pesticide solution. This module will provide you with a review of the basic math skills needed when calculating pesticides. You will also review how to convert different measurements. Accuracy in calculating pesticides protects you and your loved ones, and it reduces property and environmental damage. It also ensures an effective application by using the correct amount of product. Anytime you work with pesticides, there are some standard equipment items that you should have on hand. A measuring tape is needed to measure the treatment area. You can also use the measuring tape to determine the width of your sprayer during calibration. A stopwatch is useful when calibrating your sprayer. You can also use the stopwatch app on your cell phone or a regular watch with a second hand. Measuring containers allow you to accurately measure and mix the correct amount of product. It is recommended to have several different sizes of measuring containers that are only used to measure pesticides. Be sure to label these containers pesticides only. A calculator is useful to quickly and accurately solve the math problems needed to calculate pesticides. Ensure that you enter the values correctly into the calculator. Validate that your answer makes sense. Anytime you work with pesticides, wear the personal protective equipment, or PPE, stated on the product label. At a minimum, the required PPE is long pants, long-sleeved shirt, shoes, and socks. Let's talk about baking a cake. When you bake a cake, you usually follow a recipe. For example, you measure your ingredients carefully to ensure your cake rises properly. Just like baking, when using pesticides, you also must measure and calculate pesticide amounts carefully to get successful results. Let's review the basic math skills needed to calculate the proper amount of pesticide for an application. We will look at how to measure distance or area, how to measure liquid and dry ingredients, and review basic math such as simplifying fractions, converting fractions to decimals, and multiplying fractions. For large areas, Google Maps provides a tool that can calculate an area or distance. If you would like to use this tool, click play to view the video. To calculate the area of a triangle, first measure the length of the triangle base. Second, measure the height of the triangle, starting at the upper point of the triangle and then measuring straight down to form a 90-degree angle with the base. Multiply the measured base and height, then divide by 2. This is the area of the triangle. To calculate the area of a square or rectangle, multiply the length and the width of the square or the rectangle. To calculate the area of an unequal triangle, the formula is the same as a triangle. The difference is how you measure the height of the triangle. Measure from a corner of the triangle base, then move upwards until you are even with the uppermost point of the triangle. To find the area of a circle, we must determine the radius or diameter of the circle. The radius is the measurement from the center of the circle to its outer edge. If you have the diameter of the circle, divide it by 2 to find the radius. The area of a circle is calculated by using the formula pi, which is a constant 3.14, multiplied by the circle's squared radius. It's time to practice your math skills. Calculate the area of a rectangle that is 40 feet long by 20 feet wide. Remember, you can use the on-screen hint. When you have determined the answer, click the Check Answer button to check your work. When you have finished, click Next to continue. Calculate the area of a triangle that has a base of 30 feet and the height of 50 feet. Remember, you can use the on-screen hint. When you have determined the answer, click the Check Answer button to check your work. When you have finished, click Next to continue. Calculate the area of a circle that has a radius of 15 feet. Remember, you can use the on-screen hint. When you have determined the answer, click the Check Answer button to check your work. When you have finished, click Next to continue. Accurate measurements are important when using pesticides. For pesticides to be effective, you must measure and mix them according to the label instructions. When handling pesticides, always wear the stated personal protective equipment listed on the pesticide label. Dry product is measured using a scale for accuracy. Place your empty container on the scale and zero the scale out according to your instructions. Carefully pour the dry formulation into the empty container until it reaches the correct weight. For measuring wet ingredients, begin by putting on your personal protective equipment listed on the pesticide label. Generally, you will always use a graduated measuring container for liquids. Place the container on a stable surface. Carefully pour the product into the container. View the measurement markings at eye level. Fill the container until you have reached the proper amount. Okay, let's check your knowledge of measuring dry product. Drag the colored steps on the left side of the screen into the proper order on the right side of the screen. It's time to check your knowledge and simplify fractions. Solve the two listed problems. When you are finished, click on the Check Answer button below each problem. When you have finished, click Next to continue. In these problems, convert the percentages to decimals. Merely divide the number by 100. Once you have determined the answer, click on the Check Answer button below each problem. When you have finished, click Next to continue. Let's test your knowledge of multiplying fractions. Multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. Then simplify the fraction. Once you have determined the answer, click on the Check Answer button below each problem. When you have finished, click Next to continue. Let's practice using the conversion chart. Using the chart, convert each measurement. Check your answers by clicking the Check Answer button. When you have finished, click Next to continue. Let's take a moment to review what we have learned. Our program is grant-funded, which allows us to offer courses such as this one. To continue producing educational modules, we ask that you take a moment and complete a short 7-question survey. Your answers are anonymous and will help us improve our future courses. Thank you for your help. Congratulations! You have completed the Calculate Pesticides General Math course. To properly exit this training, make sure to click the Exit Activity button at the top right of your screen to record your survey submission and to properly exit this course. Failure to click the Exit Activity button can result in not tracking your course completion.